Part 19. Those who hoped not for a meeting with us said, Why were angels not sent forth to us, and why see we not our Lord? Surely they grew arrogant among themselves, becoming defiant, turning in great disdain. On a day they will see the angels, there will be no good tidings for the ones who sin, and they will say, Unapproachable, banned. We will advance on whatever actions they did. We will make them as scattered dust. The companions of the garden on that day will have the best resting place and the fairest place of noonday rest. On a day when heaven will be split open with the cloud shadows and the angels are sent down, ascending down successively, on that day the true dominion will belong to the merciful, and it would be a day difficult for the ones who are ungrateful. And on a day when one who is unjust will bite his hands, he will say, Would that I had taken myself to away with the messenger. Ah, woe is me! Would that I had not taken so-and-so to myself as a friend. Certainly he has caused me to go astray from the remembrance after it had drawn near to me. And Satan has been a betrayer of the human being. And the messenger said, O my Lord, truly my folk took this the Quran as one which is to be abandoned, and thus we assigned for every prophet an enemy of the ones who sin. And thy Lord has sufficed as one who guides and as a helper. And those who were ungrateful said, Why is the Quran not sent down to him all at once? Thus we make firm thy mind by it, and we have chanted a chanting, and they bring thee no parable, but we bring about the truth to thee, and fair exposition. Those who will be assembled on their faces in hell, those are worse placed, ones who go astray from the way. And certainly we gave Moses the book, and assigned his brother Aaron to him as a minister. And we said, You both go to the folk who have denied our signs. Then we destroyed them, an utter destruction. And the folk of Noah, when they denied the messengers, we drowned them. And we made them as a sign for humanity. And we have made ready for the ones who are unjust a painful punishment, and Ad and Thamud and the companions of Ras, and many generations in between those. And we propounded parables for each of them, and we shattered each a shattering. And certainly they have approached the town where an evil rain was to be rained down on them. Have they not considered it? Nay, they had not been hoping for any rising up. And when they saw thee, they took thee but in mockery. Is this the one whom God has raised up as a messenger? He was about to cause us to go astray from our gods, had it not been that we patiently endured in them. And they will know at the time when they see the punishment who is one who goes astray from the way. Hast thou considered him who has taken to himself his own desires as his God? Wouldst thou then be over him a trustee? Or assume thou that most of them hear or are reasonable? They are not but as flocks. Nay, they are ones who go astray from a way. Hast thou not considered how thy Lord stretched out the shade, and had he willed, he would have made it that which is still. After that, we made the sun an indicator over it. Then we seized it to us an easy seizing. And it is he who made the nighttime a garment for you, and sleep a rest, and made the daytime for rising. And it is he who sent the winds, bearers of good news, in advance of his mercy. And we sent forth undefiled water from heaven, that we may give life by it to a lifeless land, and with it we satiate. We have created flocks on it, and many men. And certainly we diversify among them so that they may recollect. Then most of humanity refused everything but disbelief, and had we willed, we would have raised up a warner in every town. So obey not the ones who are ungrateful, and struggle against them with it with a great struggle. And it is he who has let forth the two seas, this agreeable and water of the sweetest kind, and this salty, bitter. He made between the two that which was unapproachable, a band barrier. And it is he who created a mortal from water, and has made blood kindred for him, and kin by marriage. And thy Lord has been ever powerful. And they worship other than God what neither profits them nor hurts them. And the one who is ungrateful has been ever an abettor against his Lord. And we have not sent thee but as one who gives good tidings, and as a warner. Say, I ask of you no compensation for this, but that whoever willed should take himself on a way to his Lord, and put your trust in the living who is undying, and glorify his praise. And he has sufficed to be aware of the impieties of his servants, he who created the heavens and the earth, and whatever is between the two in 6 days. After that he turned his attention to the throne, the merciful. Ask the aware then about him. And when it was said to them, Prostrate yourselves to the merciful, they said, And what is the merciful? Will we prostrate ourselves to what thou hast commanded us? And it increased aversion in them. Blessed is he who made constellations in the heaven, and has made in it a light-giving lamp, and an illuminating moon. And he it is who made the nighttime and the daytime to follow in succession for whom he had wanted to recollect, or he had wanted thankfulness. And the servants of the merciful are those who walk on the earth in meekness. And when the ones who are ignorant addressed them, they said, Peace. And those who spend the night with their Lord as ones who prostrate themselves and are upright, and those who say, Our Lord, turn us away from the punishment of hell. Truly, its punishment has been continuous torment. Truly, how evil a habitation and resting place. And those who, when they spend, neither exceed all bounds, nor are they tight-fisted, but had been between that, a just stand. Those who call not to another God with God, nor kill the soul which God has forbidden, but rightfully, nor commit adultery. And whoever disregards and commits this will meet sinfulness. The punishment will be multiplied for him on the day of resurrection, and he will dwell in it forever as one who is despised. But whoever has repented and has believed, and whose actions are of one who acted in accord with morality, for those God will substitute for their evil deeds benevolence, and God has been forgiving, compassionate. And whoever repents, and one who acts in accord with morality, he truly repents to God, turning in repentance. And those who bear not witness to untruth, and if they passed by idle talk, they passed by nobly. And those who, when they are reminded of the signs of their Lord, fall not down unwilling to hear and unwilling to see. And those who say, Our Lord, bestow on us from our wives and our offspring the comfort of our eyes, and make us leaders of ones who are God-fearing. Those will be given recompense in the highest chambers, because they patiently endured. They will be in receipt of greetings and peace, ones who will dwell in it forever, an excellent habitation and resting place. Say, My Lord would not concern himself with you had it not been for your supplication, for surely you have denied, so it will be close at hand. Chapter 26. The Poets. In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. Ta, Sin, Mim. That are the signs of the clear book. It may be that thou art one who consumes thyself in grief, because they become not ones who believe. If we will, we could send down to them from heaven a sign, so that perhaps their necks would stay to it, ones who are bent in humility, and there approaches them not any renewed remembrance from the merciful, but that they had been ones who turn aside from it. Surely they have denied it. So soon the tiding will approach them about what they had been ridiculing. Have they not considered the earth, how much we cause to develop in and on it of every generous pair? Truly, in that is a sign, yet most of them have not been ones who believe. Truly thy Lord, he is certainly the Almighty, the Compassionate. And when thy Lord proclaimed to Moses, saying that, approach the unjust folk, a folk of Pharaoh, saying, will they not be God-fearing? He said, my Lord, truly I fear that they will deny me, and my breast be narrowed, and my tongue will not be loosened. So send for Aaron. And they charge an impiety against me. I fear that they will kill me. He said, nay, both of you go with our signs. Truly, we will be with you, ones who are listening. And both of you advance to Pharaoh and say, we are the messengers of the Lord of the worlds. So send the children of Israel with us. Pharaoh said, had we not raised thee up among us as a child? Hast thou not lingered in expectation with us for many years of thy lifetime? And thou hast accomplished thy accomplishment that thou hast accomplished, and thou art of the ones who are ungrateful. Moses said, I accomplished it when I was of the ones who go astray. So I ran away from you when I feared you. Then my Lord bestowed on me critical judgment, and made me of the ones who are sent. Beyond this past favor with which you reproach me, you have enslaved the children of Israel. Pharaoh said, and what is the Lord of the worlds? Moses said, the Lord of the heavens and the earth, and whatever is between the two of them, if you had been of ones who are certain. Pharaoh said to those around him, listen you not? Moses said, your Lord and the Lord of your fathers, the ancient ones. Pharaoh said, truly your messenger who was sent to you is one who is possessed. Moses said, the Lord of the east and the west, and whatever is between the two of them, if you have been reasonable. Pharaoh said, if thou takest to thyself a god other than me, I will certainly assign thee to be imprisoned. Moses said, what if I drew near to thee with something that makes it clear? Pharaoh said, bring it, if thou hast been among ones who are sincere. So he cast his staff, that is when it was a clear serpent, and he drew out his hand, that is when it was white to the ones who look. He said to the council around him, truly this is one who is a knowing sorcerer. He wants to drive you out from your region by his sorcery. What is it, then, that you suggest? They said, put him and his brother off, and raise up the ones who summon in the cities. They will bring every knowing witch to you. So the ones who were sorcerers were gathered at a time appointed on a known day. And it was said to humanity, will you be ones who are gathered together so that we might follow the ones who are sorcerers, if they would be ones who are victors? So when the ones who were sorcerers drew near, they said to Pharaoh, is there a compensation for us if we have been the ones who are victors? Pharaoh said, yes, truly you will be ones brought near to me. Moses said to them, cast what you will as ones who cast. So they cast their ropes and their staffs and said, by the vainglory of Pharaoh we will surely be the ones who are victors. Then Moses was to cast down his staff. That is when it swallows their lying deceit. The ones who are sorcerers were cast down, ones who prostrate themselves. They said, we believe in the Lord of the worlds, the Lord of Moses and Aaron. Pharaoh said, you have believed in him before I gave permission to you. He is truly your foremost who has taught you sorcery. Then you will know, I will certainly cut off your hands and your feet on opposite sides, and I will crucify you one and all. They said, no grievance. Truly, To our Lord we are ones who are turning. Truly, we are desirous that our Lord forgive us our transgressions, that we have been the first of the ones who believe. And we revealed to Moses, saying that, Set forth by night with my servants. Truly, you are ones who would be followed. Then Pharaoh sent to the cities ones who summon. They said, These are truly a small crowd, and truly they are ones who enrage us. We are altogether truly ones who are cautious. So we drove them out from the gardens and springs and treasures and a generous station, and we thus gave them as inheritance to the children of Israel. So they pursued them at sunrise. Then, when the two multitudes sighted each other, the companions of Moses said, Truly, we are ones who are to be overtaken. Moses said, Nay, truly my Lord is with me, and he will guide me. Then we revealed to Moses, saying that, Strike the sea with thy staff. And it divided, and each had become a separate part, like a high, tremendous mountain. And we brought the others close there, and we rescued Moses and those with him, one and all. After that we drowned the others. Truly in this is a sign, and yet most of them have not been ones who believe. And truly thy Lord, he is the Almighty, the Compassionate. And recount to them the tidings of Abraham, when he said to his father and his folk, What is it you worship? They said, We worship idols. We will stay ones who give ourselves up to them. He said, Hear they when you call them? Or are they profiting you or hurting you? They said, Nay, but we found our fathers acting likewise. He said, Then consider what you have been worshipping, you and your fathers the elders. Truly they are an enemy to me, but not so the Lord of the worlds, who has created me, and it is he who guides me, and it is he who feeds me and gives me drink. And when I am sick, it is he who heals me, and who causes me to die, then will give me life, and from whom I am desirous that he will forgive me my transgressions on the day of judgment. My Lord, bestow on me critical judgment, and cause me to join with ones who are in accord with morality, and assign me a good name of good repute in the later generations, and make me one who inherits the garden of bliss, and forgive my father. Truly, he had been of the ones who go astray. And cover me not with shame on a day they will be raised up, on a day neither wealth will profit nor children, but him who approached God with a pure-hearted heart. And the garden will be brought close for the ones who are God-fearing, and hellfire will be advanced for the ones who are in error. And it will be said to them, Where is what you had been worshipping instead of God? Are you helped by them, or help they themselves? Then they were to be thrown down into it, they and the ones who are in error, and the army of Iblis, one and all. And they said, while they are in it striving against one another, By God, truly we have been clearly wandering astray when we made you equal with the Lord of the worlds. And no one caused us to go astray but the ones who sin. Now we have none who are intercessors, nor an ardent friend, a loyal friend. Would that there were for us a return again, then we would be of the ones who believe. Truly, in this is a sign, yet most of them have not been ones who believe. And truly thy Lord, he is the Almighty, the Compassionate. The folk of Noah denied ones who were sent, when their brother Noah said to them, Will you not be God-fearing? Truly, I am a trustworthy messenger to you. So be God-fearing of God, and obey me. And I ask you not for any compensation for it. My compensation is only from the Lord of the worlds. So be God-fearing of God, and obey you me. They said, Will we believe in thee when it is the most wretched that follow thee? He said, And what knowledge have I of what they had been doing? Truly, their reckoning is but with my Lord, if you be aware. And I am not one who drives away the ones who believe. I am not but a clear warner. They said, If thou refrainest not thyself, O Noah, thou shalt certainly be among the ones who are stoned. He said, My Lord, my folk have denied me. So give deliverance between me and between them, and victory, and deliver me and those with me who are the ones who believe. And we rescued him and those with him in the laden boat. Then we drowned afterwards the ones who remained. In this is truly a sign, yet most of them have not been ones who believe. Thy Lord, he truly is the Almighty, the Compassionate. Ad denied the ones who were sent when their brotherhood said to them, Will you not be God-fearing? Truly, I am a trustworthy messenger to you. So be God-fearing of God and obey me. And I ask you not for any compensation for it. My compensation is only from the Lord of the worlds. Build you a sign on every high hill to amuse, and take you for yourselves castles, so that perhaps you would dwell in them forever. And when you seized you by force haughtingly. So be God-fearing of God, and obey me. Be God-fearing of him who has furnished relief to you with all that you know. He has furnished relief to you with flocks and children and gardens and springs. Truly, I fear for you the punishment of a tremendous day. They said, It is equal to us, whether thou hast admonished, or thou hast not been among the ones who admonish. Truly, this is nothing but morals of the ancient ones, and we are not ones who will be punished. So they denied him, and we caused them to perish. Truly, in this is a sign, yet most of them have not been ones who believe. And truly thy Lord, he is certainly the Almighty, the Compassionate. And Thamud denied the ones who were sent when their brother Saleh said to them, Will you not be God-fearing? Truly, I am a trustworthy messenger to you. So be God-fearing of God, and obey me. And I ask you not for any compensation for it. My compensation is only from the Lord of the worlds. Will you be left ones who are safe in what you have here in gardens and springs, and crops of slender spathes of date palm trees? Will you carve houses out of the mountains as ones who are skillful? So be God-fearing of God, and obey me. Obey not the command of the ones who are excessive, who make corruption in and on the earth, and make not things right. They said, Truly thou art only of the ones against whom a spell was cast. Thou art not but a mortal like us. So bring us a sign if thou hast been of the ones who are sincere. He said, This is a she-camel. She has a right to drink, and you have a right to drink on a known day. And afflict her not with evil, so that you should take the punishment of a tremendous day. But they crippled her, and then it came to be in the morning that they were ones who were remorseful. So the punishment took them. Truly, in this is a sign, yet most of them have not been ones who believe. And truly thy Lord, he is certainly the Almighty, the Compassionate. The folk of Lot denied the ones who were sent, when their brother Lot said to them, Will you not be God-fearing? Truly, I am a trustworthy messenger to you, so be God-fearing of God, and obey me. And I ask you not for any compensation for it. My compensation is only from the Lord of the worlds. You approach males among worldly beings, forsaking wives, whom your Lord has created for you. Nay, you are a folk, ones who are turning away. They said, If thou refrainest not thyself, O Lot, thou shalt certainly be among the ones who are driven out. He said, I am of the ones with hatred for your actions. My Lord, deliver me and my people from what they do. So we delivered him and his people one and all, but an old woman among the ones who stayed behind. After that we destroyed the others, and we rained down on them a rain, and how evil was the rain for the ones who are warned. Truly, in this is a sign, yet most of them have not been ones who believe. And truly, thy Lord, he is certainly the Almighty, the Compassionate. The companions of the woods denied the ones who were sent, when Shoab said to them, Will you not be God-fearing? Truly, I am a trustworthy messenger to you, so be God-fearing of God, and obey me. And I ask you not for any compensation for it. My compensation is only from the Lord of the worlds. Live up to the full measure, and be not of the ones who cause loss to others by fraud, and weigh with a straight scale, and diminish not to humanity their things, nor do mischief in and on the earth as ones who make corruption, and be God-fearing of him who created you, and the array of the ancient ones. They said, Truly thou art only ones against whom a spell was cast, and thou art nothing but a mortal like us, and truly we think thou art of the ones who lie. So drop on us pieces of heaven, if you have been among the ones who are sincere. He said, My Lord is greater in knowledge of what you do. But they denied him. So they were taken by the punishment on the overshadowing day. Truly, that had been the punishment of a tremendous day. Truly, in this is a sign, yet most of them have not been ones who believe. And truly thy Lord, he is certainly the Almighty, the Compassionate. And this truly is the sending down successively of the Lord of the worlds, that the trustworthy Spirit has brought down on thy heart, and that thou mayest be one who warns in a clear Arabic tongue. And truly it is in the ancient scrolls of the ancient ones. Would it not be a sign for them that is known to the knowing among the children of Israel? And if we had sent it down to some of the non-Arabs, and he had recited it to them, they would not be ones who believe in it. Thus we have thrust it into the hearts of the ones who sin. They will not believe in it until they see the painful punishment. Then it will approach them suddenly, while they are not aware. Then they will say, Are we ones who are given respite? Seek they to hasten our punishment? Hast thou thyself considered, if we give them enjoyment for years, and afterwards there drew near to them what they have been promised, they would not be availed by what they had been given of enjoyment. We caused no town to perish, but that it had ones who warn as a reminder. And we have not been ones who are unjust. It came not forth by the Satans, and neither is it fit and proper for them, nor are they able. Truly they, from having the ability to hear, are the ones who were set aside. So call not to any god with God, so that thou be among the ones who are punished. And warn thy nearest kin, the kinspeople, and make low thy wing to those who follow thee among the ones who believe. Then, if they rebelled against thee, then say, Truly I am free of what you do. And put thy trust in the Almighty, the Compassionate, who sees thee at the time thou hast stood up, and thy going to and fro among the ones who prostrate themselves. Truly, he is the hearing, the knowing. Shall I tell you in whom the Satans come forth? They come forth in every sinful, false one who gives listen, but most of them are ones who lie. As for the poets, ones who are in error follow them. Hast thou not considered that they wander in every valley, and that they say what they accomplish not? But those who have believed, and the ones who acted in accord with morality, remembered God frequently, and helped themselves after wrong was done to them. And those who did wrong will know by what overturning they will be turned about. Chapter 27. The Ant. In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. Ta, Sin. That are the signs of the Quran, and a clear book, a guidance and good tidings for the ones who believe, those who perform the formal prayer and give the purifying alms, so that they are certain of the world to come. Truly, as for those who believe not in the world to come, we have made their actions appear pleasing to them, so that they wander unwilling to see. Those are they for whom is the tragic punishment, and they, in the world to come, they are the ones who are the losers. And truly, thou art in receipt of the Quran, that which proceeds from the presence of one who is wise, knowing. Mention when Moses said to his people, Truly I have observed a fire, I will bring you news from it, or I will approach you with a flaming firebrand, so that perhaps you would warm yourselves. But when he drew near to it, it was proclaimed that, Blessed is he who is in the fire, and he who is around it, and glory be to God, the Lord of the worlds. O Moses, truly I alone am God, the Almighty, the Wise. Cast down thy staff. But when he saw it quivering as if it were a snake, he turned as one who draws back to retrace his steps. O Moses, fear not. The ones who are sent fear not my nearness, but whoever has done wrong. After that, he has substituted goodness for evil, and truly I am forgiving, compassionate. Cause thy hand to enter into thy bosom, it will go forth white, without evil. These are among 9 signs to Pharaoh and his folk. Truly, they had been a folk, ones who disobey. But when our signs drew near to them, ones who perceive, they said, This is clear sorcery. And they negated them, although their souls confessed to them out of injustice and self-exaltation. So look on how had been the ultimate end of the ones who make corruption. Certainly we gave David and Solomon knowledge, and they said, All praise belongs to God, who has given us advantage over many of his servants, ones who believe. And Solomon inherited from David, and he said, O humanity, we were taught the language of the birds, and everything was given to us. Truly, this is clearly grace. And there was assembled before Solomon his armies of jinn and humankind, and birds, and they were marching in ranks, until when they approached the valley of the ants. One ant said, O ants, enter your dwelling, so that Solomon and his armies not crush you while they are not aware. So Solomon smiled as one who laughs at its saying, and he said, My Lord, arouse me that I may give thanks for thy divine blessing, with which thou art gracious to me, and ones who are my parents, and I may be one who acts in accord with morality. May thou be well pleased, and cause me to enter by thy mercy among thy servants, ones who are in accord with morality. And he reviewed the birds, and said, Why see I not the hoopy bird? Has it been among the ones who are absent? I will certainly punish him with a severe punishment, or deal a death blow to it, unless it brings me a clear authority. But it was not long in coming. Then it said, I have comprehended what thou hast not comprehended of it, and I have drawn near to thee from Sheba with certain tidings. Truly I found a woman controlling them, and she was given everything, and for her is a sublime throne. I found her and her folk prostrating to the sun instead of God, and Satan has made to appear pleasing to them their actions, and has barred them from the way, so they have not been truly guided. So they prostrate themselves not to God, who brings out what is hidden in the heavens and the earth, and knows what you conceal and what you speak openly. God, there is no God but he, the Lord of the sublime throne. Solomon said, We will look on whether thou hast been sincere, or thou art one who lies. Take away this letter of mine, and cast it to them. Then turn away from them, and look on what they return. The queen of Sheba said, O counsel, truly a generous letter has been cast down to me. Truly it is from Solomon, and truly it is in the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. Rise not up against me, but approach me as ones who submit. She said, O counsel, render me an opinion in my affair. I have not been one who resolves, unless you bear witness. They said, We are imbued with strength, and imbued with vigorous might, but the command is for thee, so look on what thou wilt command. She said, Truly, when kings entered a town, they made corruption in it, and made the most mighty of its people humiliated in spirit. Thus, this is what they accomplish. But truly, I am one who will send to them a present, and will be one who looks with what returns the ones who were sent. So when they drew near Solomon, he said, Are you furnishing me relief with wealth? What God has given me is better than what he has given you. Nay, it is you who should be glad with your present. Return to them, and we truly will approach them with armies against which they will not be capable, and we will drive them out from there as ones who are disgraced, and they humble-spirited. He said, O counsel, which of you will bring me her throne before they approach me as ones who submit? A demon from among the jinn said, I will bring it to thee before thou shalt stand up from thy station, and truly I am strong, trustworthy. One who had knowledge of the book said, I will bring it to thee before thy glance goes back to thee. And then, when he saw it settled before him, he said, This is from the grace of my Lord, to try me, whether I give thanks or am ungrateful. And whoever gives thanks, truly he gives thanks for himself, and whoever is ungrateful, then truly my Lord is rich, generous. He said, Disguise her throne for her, that we may look on whether she will be guided, or she will be of those who are not truly guided. So when she drew near, it was said, Is thy throne like this? She said, It is as though it were it. Solomon said, Knowledge was given us before her, and we have been ones who submit to the one God. She had been barred from worshipping God by what she had been worshipping other than God, for truly she had been of a folk, ones who are ungrateful. It was said to her, Enter the pavilion, and when she saw it, she assumed it to be a pool, and she bared her legs. He said, Truly, it is a smooth, crystal pavilion. She said, My Lord, truly I have done wrong to myself, and I submit with Solomon to God, the Lord of the worlds. And certainly we sent to Thamud their brother Saleh, that they worship God. Then, when they became two groups of people striving against one another, he said, O my folk, why seek you to hasten the evil deed before benevolence? Why ask you not for forgiveness of God, so that perhaps you will find mercy? They said, We augur ill of thee and those with thee. He said, That which is your omen is with God. Nay, you are a folk who are being tried. And there had been 9 groups of persons in the city who made corruption in the earth, and had not made things right. They said, Swear to one another by God, we will certainly attack him by night and his people, and then we will certainly say to his protector, We bore not witness to the destruction of his people, and truly we are ones who are sincere. So they planned a plan, and we planned a plan, while they were not aware. So look on how had been the ultimate end of their planning. Truly, we destroyed them and their folk, one and all. And these are their houses fallen down in ruin for what they did wrong. Truly, in this is a sign for a folk who know. And we rescued those who have believed and are God-fearing. And Lot, when he said to his folk, You approach indecency, and you perceive what you do. Why approach you men with lust instead of women? Nay, you are a folk who are ignorant. Then there had been no answer by his folk, but that they said, Drive the people of Lot out from your town. Truly, they are a clan that is to be purified. So we rescued him and his people, but his wife. We ordained her to be of the ones who stayed behind. And we rained down on them a rain. How evil was the rain to the ones who are warned. Say, the praise belongs to God, and peace be on his servants, those whom he has favored. Is God better, or what they ascribe as a partner with him?